Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Chasing the Whimsy. I am your host, Ben, and today we have a guest with us. And you are?
Megan.
Megan. Hello.
Hello.
All right, so this week we went to OurTown Comic-Con. From my town, since we can't see where we're from.
Oh, right. I was like, it's a little weird way to put it, but yeah.
Well, I was thinking about it because I'm like, well, it's funny because we went to ToothCon, so, but anyway, like, I was like, we needed like a generic name for where we live. I'm like, Me Town. So yes, today we went to a Comic-Con.
This is his second con,
which is
ever. Insane.
I know, wildly different than the other one.
I told you that was going to be the case, and this is also a relatively small one.
They get bigger? I mean, yeah, I would assume.
Yeah, they do.
That's crazy.
But this one is a good size. This one's...
Yeah, I liked it. I did realize that it didn't need to be a 2-day event.
I think it does need to be a 2-day. The problem is when you have a 4-year-old with you, you're limited to like where you can go, because I'm sure she went into one of the panels, she'd just be like talking the whole time.
Right.
She doesn't really get it. But if you went to the panels, I think you would enjoy it.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool. So I did not get a chance to get to too many panels or see any of the special guests. I was looking through the book that they had, and I know that like some guests charge for autographs.
Correct.
Okay, what is like an average price for an autograph, do you think?
Oh God. Oh, I don't know. They had that whole X-Men array there.
Oh yeah, from the X-Men 97.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That would look like a cool like signature to get, but I can't wait in line for that kind of stuff.
They had a bunch of Airbender, Avatar: The Last Airbender people, Zuko, Io, and I think those are the only two from there. They also had 2 people from Firefly, which would have been really cool.
I feel like if I walked up to a famous person, I'd just be like, "Hi," and then I wouldn't be able to say anything else,
right? But
because what do you say other than like, I love your work, I love what you do,
right?
Oh my God, you're amazing.
And it kind of goes back to that thing where I'm like, I don't want to say the same thing that all 5,000 people have said today.
Exactly. But it's the only thing would like blurt out of my mouth.
Right.
It's like
I try to think of some deep, like Dick Van Dyke was there. So I'm gonna be like, man, I love your Dick Van Dyke show. Rep the 50s, woo woo. So yeah, what do you think an average autograph was? Yes,
I don't know. Like, is it $50?
Between 50 and 70, and then $70 and $80 for a photo op. What do you think the most expensive one was?
Oh no, I hope it was like $100, because that's... Can you imagine being like, yeah, I think my autograph's worth twice as much as this person's?
Well, it was Dick Van Dyke.
Ooh.
Autograph $150, photo op $175.
You know what? Get it, Dick. You got it. You got it, man.
Which is funny because I think William Shatner, I think, is notorious for having like a huge, like a $200 signature.
$200.
I don't know where I heard that. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he has a pretty expensive signature.
It's Shatner, so like people are gonna be lining up to pay $200 for that signature.
It's like age times 2 almost. But yeah, there was a couple of it did look like there was a bunch of people there that would have been interesting. Ooh. Michael Rooney. Was he the guy from Mallrats? It was Rooker. No, Michael Rooker. It was Michael Rooker.
Okay.
So instead of being like, "Hey, Guardians of the Galaxy," it would have been like Sting Palm. But it's Comic-Con, so he probably got a bunch of those too. Oh, but he did do a portrait of a serial killer, Henry. Did you ever see that?
No.
It was a little dark. It was interesting.
It sounds dark.
Yeah, it was out there. So next year, yeah, I will definitely look at the well, and to be fair, I should have looked ahead.
Right.
To see who was all there and maybe look at some of the panels and stuff and map it out. But
well, there was like a lot of good panels, and the problem is like you don't really know it's going to be a good panel until you get in there. Because I went to like another panel and I was like, I'm not feeling this at all.
Right.
Like nothing against that panel. I won't say which panel, but they didn't seem prepared, and the stuff they were discussing was not as deep as I thought it was going to be by the name of the panel that it had. And I was like, you know what? Why would I just sit here for the next hour? And I like booked it upstairs to a different panel that was on horror writing. And oh my God, it was amazing.
And you were there for the like 50 minutes?
Yeah, for like an hour. Yeah.
Sweet. What are they talking about?
A lot of stuff. They talked about like where they get inspiration from, what it's like writing horror, like the tropes of horror, how to like map things out. It was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. There's like the one that was like really inspired by Japanese folklore. The other one was Latin American folklore, or specifically Caribbean, so like Puerto Rican stuff. Right. So it was obviously close to me. But it was interesting hearing all the stuff they took interest in. And there's like a question answer thing at the end, which is interesting, hearing what other people thought about it.
Okay, cool. Very nice.
Obviously, a lot of other like washed up aspiring writers like myself being like, so how exactly do you make it big?
So, yeah, we got a little bit of a late start. We had a swim lesson this morning. And then you're kind of notorious for you like to sleep in a little bit.
I did not sleep in that much.
Not that much. But to be fair, and we were totally fine with it because we were trying to budget. Kelly called me last week and was like, "So do we do the swim lesson still?" I'm like, "Yeah, let everybody sleep in. The kid's only good for 6 hours, maybe. So what's the difference between 9 to 6 hours or noon to 6 hours?"
Right.
And we were spot on. We were there for about 6 hours.
Yeah, and she was absolutely out by the end.
Right. So we get there. Parking was kind of interesting.
Yeah, Google Maps was definitely not updated that some things were closed. But it was great parking. I mean, it was so close.
We somehow stumbled into it because I was gonna have us go like 3 blocks further.
Yeah, I think maybe where you were having us park was where I parked last time I went to this nameless convention, and we had to walk to the convention center from where we parked. But this one was like right across the street, and there was parking, so it worked out pretty well.
Sophie was funny because as we're circling the parking garage, she's like, "Are we going home now?" She's like, "We should just go home. We can't find a place to park." Yeah,
I think when she gets like bored, she's like, "Yeah, I just wish I was at home." Because she can't foresee what we're gonna do. If we say we're going to a con, she's like, or whatever, she's like, I don't know what that means.
Well, what we told her today, it was an adventure.
Yeah,
so she's
usually like, it's we're going on an adventure.
She's like, I don't know what that means. She's like, I'm excited, but I don't know what that means.
But she ended up having fun.
Yeah. So we get there, we literally walk down, and then we're right there by the entrance.
Yeah,
which was super cool.
And it was really easy now with like the QR codes. Because I remember last time I bought the tickets at this event, like right there, and I had to wait in line forever. And this was just like, here's the email that I got yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever it was. Just scan this, and then they just give you the tags. There was like no line.
Right, it was nice. So we get through. And then once we get on the other, like the entrance, there's a group of people there.
Oh, there were some interesting people there.
definitely a lot of dressing. I saw more dressing up today than I thought I would see. Like I knew that they always
Really?
dressed up for cons.
Well, I've been to this one
Yeah.
before, and so I know the deal. But I thought you were talking about the people with the papers wanting us to sign everything.
Oh
and,
yeah.
I'm
You're a
so
sucker.
bad. I'm not a sucker. The thing is, like, I don't really care, but like, I am very bad at being rude to people.
Kelly saved you.
Yeah, Kelly saved me with a well-placed lie about the baby having to go to the bathroom, and the guy was like, "Oh, okay." He wasn't even trying to sell us anything. He was trying to like spread awareness for lung cancer. I think people know about that. I don't know.
Even the cigarette companies know about it. They put it right there on the front.
He was like, "Yeah, we just really don't want people to vape," and I was like, "Well, when she grows up, I'll try to remind her
Right.
in 12 years or whatever."
Right.
Meanwhile, Ben vaping in the
Right.
background.
Blowing it in everybody's face. But yeah, it was cool because like the costumes were interesting. But then there was always like,
And like there are like almost no repeat costumes. They were all really like a lot of them were so different.
there was a couple of Final Fantasy VII guys, but I only saw them in the beginning, and then I
Yeah.
never saw them again.
Oh, and weirdly, the episode of the Powerpuff Girls where the criminals pretend to be the Powerpuff Girls, like the buff dudes with like Powerpuff Girl. There was 2 sets of those, and they ran into each other in front of us, and I was like, oh, wow.
The girls definitely like the anime stuff,
Yes.
and then the boys definitely like their superheroes.
Yeah, superheroes. That's a lot of like kind of like medieval stuff, gun stuff.
There was some
combat gear.
Yeah. It had like a SWAT looking thing, but he had like a skull mask. I don't even know. I'm sure it was from a game or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what game it was, but the girls definitely put more work into it than most of the guys. I think the guys.
Maybe you're just noticing the girls more because I thought the guys did such a great job and the girls did such a great job. Like, well, they were representing for sure.
Now, I mean, I don't know if it was just me, but it did seem like there was a 2-to-1 girl to boy ratio. There definitely seemed like there was more of the female running around.
There were a lot of females. Maybe a lot of like older guys that you probably don't even blip on your radar. Right. But there were a lot of kids there too, which is
lots
interesting.
Of kids.
I don't think I saw as many kids last time, or maybe I just didn't have a kid at the time, so I didn't notice. But they were all costumed too. It was really cute.
Was there one that stood out as your favorite?
Yeah, mine. No, there was like a lot of little kids just dressed up as like silly things, and usually like Mario or and always like almost always in theme with their parents.
Yeah.
Which I thought was super cute.
JJ, he went as one as an airbender. I don't think he went full Aang because he didn't shave his head, which would have been sick. He should have shaved his head.
There was an Aang there.
Yeah.
Okay, what else was there? Kyoshi? Yeah.
Oh, there were some of them, yes. Oh, yeah, it was fun. It was cool to see everybody kind of like it was hot though. And some of those costumes were like
I wasn't too bothered. Like
it wasn't like I didn't think it was like super hot for me, but when you look at some of these guys walking around in their getup, I'm like
the enclosed ones.
Yes.
Insane. Some people had like such cool costumes that they looked like completely professional.
Yeah.
But they could be like a character like shell over their selves. Like the one who was like, I don't know, there was so many of them, but that looked like it would be hot. And how do you eat?
Yes.
How do you
I saw one guy try to like he reached into his face hole and was like trying to fix something inside his head because he couldn't get under it. I was like, all right, that's cool, I guess. Like looked weird.
Do like a catheter in under there? Because I was in a jumpsuit and I was like, I don't even want to go to the bathroom.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine.
That could just get all over the dirty floor. Imagine if you're in the mushroom suit or something. You're dressed as a Dalek and you're like,
Oh, I saw one of those when we were downstairs. The fucking from
yeah. Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. Oh, looks super cool.
Did you see the BB-8 guy who
I
had
did not
like
see
the?
BB-8.
It was like a huge BB-8, but it was like, obviously like a robot,
Right.
and he was like steering it around. It was really cute.
So cool.
Sophie
Alright.
seemed to like it a lot.
So when we got there, we split off. Where did you go first?
To the downstairs panels, and then I went back to the upstairs panels because downstairs panels were not hitting at the time.
Right. Okay. Well, we took Sophie across the way to like it was really nice because the convention center has like two buildings, like an east and west.
Mm-hmm.
So the west building was still a little bit busy, but all kids. And then we get to the 100 section, and they had like a bunch of conference rooms open up for. We started with Legos. They had some Pokemon Go stuff in there. Drawing, cars. No, just Legos. Just Legos, right? Yeah, just Legos. And she was loving it, man. She's just sitting down. She's just playing with all the Legos and just making cars, and
she loves to build. Like,
she does.
Her Magna blocks are her favorite thing in the whole world. She plays with them literally every day.
She has them like
she has more, she's got more Magna blocks than any child
I know.
have.
And they're cool because they have the add-on sets because like you guys just got the tunnel set with for last week.
Yeah, it's from a different brand too. So like we have like 3 different brands of Magna tiles, but obviously they all work together.
Right. And then my mom surprise gave her dinosaurs.
Yeah,
which was super cool. So yeah, we did Legos, and then from there we went to arts and crafts.
Yeah, that's where I found you guys.
I found so they had a Pokemon Go section in the arts and craft area. So we played with the cars. But then like the Pokemon Go people, and I run into this almost all the time outside of Seattle.
Right.
Where the guys running the table, they think they're the best, and they're all like smug and stuff about it. And I was like, I don't know, I don't like this guy. So
how do they choose that guy? Like, does he show up and say, "Hey, I can run the pogo table at your con"? Or did he just pick like a con employee? Like, do any of you guys play Pokemon Go?
I don't know. It almost seemed.
Were they in costume?
No, losers.
Boo.
But I get there and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, how do you get tickets? I'm interested. I'm like, oh, I go, and like every hour they'll do like a contest for like. So the 3 o'clock hour was Pokemon with the least amount of candy. So they'll name a Pokemon, and whoever has the least amount of candy for that Pokemon will win will win some tickets.
Oh, so Kelly didn't just jump in from the other room.
Well, they said Squirtle, and then I was like, okay, I lose $6,000, and someone's like 12. I'm like,
maybe they spend all the candy.
That's what I said. I'm like, I'm not going to spend all of my Stardust to get rid of all of these. So I was like, never mind, I don't even want to play. I'm like, this is like, it seemed really weird to pick
the least amount.
Yes,
the least amount is weird because then what are you aspiring to? Like,
yes,
which one of you is the worst at this game?
And then so I didn't win. So the guy, and then the other guy stands up and was like, "We're gonna do another little contest. We're gonna say shiny Squirtles." And I'm like, 23. He's like, I said shiny. I'm like,
23.
23. I'm like, it was a community day,
right? And
then he's like, can I give me that look? And he kept like changing it. He's like, IVs now. Whoever has the best IVs. I'm like, 100? He's like, really? I said, you're right there. He's like, oh.
He just doesn't want you to win. He just keeps changing it. He's like, yeah, and then which one named theirs Bob?
Right. I'm like, I got ones with glasses. I got ones with hats. I'm like, what do you want?
Yeah, you got all the starter Pokemon right. The best. Love as far as like different versions.
So what was funny was instead of getting a ticket, which I don't do anything with the ticket because like they have a display thing, like Lego sets, some figures, some cards, and there were like way too many tickets. Like you'd have to sit in that room for like 4 hours to try to get it. Mm-hmm. So he pulls out a box and I get like an official like figurine. So I'm like, haha, boom, nailed it, walked away. And then they did a like a Pokestop tutorial.
Oh, fool. There's so many Pokestops in that building. I
I
remember
know.
from last time. I never even opened Pogo.
Oh, I was going. So I was doing the Pokemon Pokestop submission presentation with them, answering questions, getting all my tickets, and then before I left, I just gave them to the kids. I'm like, I don't need this stuff, but
yeah.
just so I can just like pat myself on the back because I'm like, I already know most of these answers.
There's a whole like thing about like back at Go Fest in Seattle. Every time there was a competition at a different place, it was about like who's got the best, who's got the most,
Right, biggest or
smallest, like or like things like biggest or smallest, which you can't really control
right
when you catch a Pokemon. So that's at least fair because
right
somebody's gonna have the biggest. You could have one and have the biggest, or you
right
could have 40 and have none of the biggest ones.
right.
But a lot of them were like, yeah, this is like really deep Pokemon lore, and you need to know this in order to, or Pogo lore, in order to win whatever the prize is.
Right. Like when Courtney and I went to Vegas, shout out to Pugs for President. She was really good. She was going through like a list of questions, and then she's like most distance, like oldest Pokemon, like the most like the Smeargles, and it was like kind of just getting really like everybody involved, kind of playing like so she was really fun. But yeah, these two guys, I was done with them, so we left. Boom. What do we do after that?
That's when we went and got food.
Good Lord.
That took forever. We should have gone like there's like food.
There was food everywhere else.
Downstairs that was no lines at all. Literally no lines. But we went outside and there was a lot of food trucks. Very few of them were like serving food. It was mostly like snacks and stuff, or
pretzels.
Beer.
Yes, lots of alcohol,
lots of snacks, but no real food except for barbecue. There was seafood, barbecue, and burgers.
Right.
We unfortunately chose burgers.
And when we get to the front of the line,
they immediately run out of French fries, and then they had to like take it off our order.
And we're like, "Aw."
Yeah, it was just kind of like a bummer to get all the way up to the front.
Right? Because then we're like, we could have just switched over to the other line and call it a day. Would have been just as fast.
We would have gone through twice if
Yeah.
we went to the other line.
Yeah, because it was funny because like,
great burger though.
It was a good burger.
Yeah.
But I think the fries would have been cool too. Like, how do you food truck and then run out of fries?
Yeah, I can understand being busy, but at some point you would notice that the last box of fries is the box that you're on. So maybe,
like, if you work a food truck and you're like, we're gonna go to OurTown Comic-Con, we're gonna be like, yeah, we only need 2 boxes of fries.
Yeah, they were gonna go beg some boxes off another truck, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm not waiting 25 minutes for French fries.
No, definitely not.
We got popcorn and
got candy.
Oh, and I got shaved ice.
Yes, you did.
That was like chaos. It was flying off in the wind because it was so like detached from itself, but it tasted really good.
That's awesome. Where did you guys go while we were still sitting in line? Okay.
Shaved ice and popcorn.
Yeah, but where'd you go after that? Oh.
Yeah, they went to like a bench. They were, where you pointed out that trash can?
Yeah.
They were like near there.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, meanwhile, while the 2 rugged explorers were waiting in, no, it was fine. It was actually not as hot as I thought it was going to be.
They had some like crazy industrial looking fans out there.
And like misters. They had mist going, so that made it feel better.
Yeah.
But it was good to get something to eat. And I was so thirsty that like just eating the shaved ice was making like me feel like I was actually getting some water. And I was like, this is probably a bad thing. But they didn't allow any outside water.
No, you had to bring your empty bottle and you can fill it up inside.
There's like weird levels of security there. Because remember security checked us before we went down to the merch?
Yeah.
Why? We were already in the building.
They were making sure not too many people got on the escalator.
They were escalator patrol.
But then they weren't watching the other escalator. They were like, that one's fine.
I don't know. It did. Yeah, I agree with you. Sus.
Very sus.
Sus. So after lunch, we head downstairs for merch.
Huge merch room.
That's why you need 2 days,
Yeah.
and because that merch room was fucking gigantic.
It was huge.
15 rows that go back
back forth across the
Oh my
whole
God.
convention center.
like that was great. It was fun. There was a lot of cool stuff.
There was so much creativity and so many interesting things to look at. I know Kelly was disappointed that there wasn't more like Harry Potter stuff, and there really wasn't a lot of Harry
There
Potter
wasn't.
stuff.
I saw one gnome, and it was it was a piece of art. It was a comic book artist who drew like a Dungeon and Dragons type kid comic, and it had dragons, and the dragons are like, "Who wants a gnomesicle?" And then the 2 other baby dragons are like, "Me, me, me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That's the only gnome I ever. That's the only gnome I saw the entire day."
Yeah.
I was like, "Where's my gnomes?"
Which is weird because gnomes are totally in right now. I see them all the time at like Target and Walmart and
Right?
stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
So many tie-ins.
Yeah, that's chasing the
I
Whimsy,
just
man.
assume it's a CTW tie-in every time.
Yep.
Definitely.
I'm all over the internet, man. The algorithm's all fucked up, and it's like giving everybody gnomes, and they're like, Target wants gnomes, I guess.
There was like so many nice people at all the booths. There was one guy who gave Sophie a free sticker, which was really nice, and we bought some ducks from him, which you can just like gift to other people, or you can hide them around the con,
Right?
Which is cute. We had to get one of every color.
Right.
They're super cheap. They were like 10 for $4.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really that big of a
Like
deal.
40 cents a piece. Yeah.
I feel like I bought the most out of everyone. Like, so I bought earrings too. And
what was funny was like halfway through, you're like, "Oh, I'm just looking," and then at the end, I'll decide what I want to buy.
Yeah. But then the baby completely just.
Oh, she passed out.
She was not only passed out, but she woke back up and was not having it. Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna win my way back through the to find the stuff that I wanted, but it was still fun to look, and I still bought some stuff like earrings and stuff like that.
It's sectioned off like on the very end. There were all your artists, like your comic book artists. I talked to a couple. They were nice. I'm like, I don't read comics anymore right now.
It's a lot of pressure for me because like I like go to the ones where there's like lots of merch and like I could just wander around.
Right.
When you get to those small booths and the person who made it is just looking you in the face, being like,
and you're like, "Yes, I'll buy all 5 issues.
Will you please buy something?" It's so hard to be like. There's this one really nice guy who was talking to me. He had like Lord of the Rings paintings, watercolors, very gorgeous. But I was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna buy something just because you're so nice and I don't know what to do. So I was basically like, okay, well, thank you, bye.
Yeah, so after you leave, like it's like basically like Artist Alley, and you get further inside. And it was weird because like it kind of kept up with a certain pattern, and then once you got in the middle, that's where you get all your pops and your action figures and your in-box merchandise type stuff.
Mystery boxes.
Yes.
Those mystery boxes, you know what? This is the best marketing I've ever seen in my life because the whole con, Kelly and I were like, what are these red and yellow boxes with question marks?
Giant boxes.
Giant boxes with question marks, and everybody's carrying them around the con, and you're just like, where can I get one of these?
Right? Because like everybody had one, and you're like, well, that looks like.
Yeah, but you're like, but what is it? And it's such a mystery.
And there were so many of them.
It was like a little like fort of mystery boxes. And people were like being very specific about which box they wanted. You don't even know what's in there.
Yeah, it was weird.
And there was like a one with like less good marketing behind it, but also looked pretty interesting. They're like white
the smaller boxes, white boxes.
Yeah, and they were all labeled based on like your interest, which was pretty cool because it could be Star Wars,
right?
So you don't end up with like a bunch of anime stuff if you're not into anime or.
Yeah, Liam and I at TuesCon bought a mystery box, and we're like, I don't know if we like most of the stuff in here, but it was kind of a little bit more like
It was fun.
it was fun, but it was more like the category is way more generic, like genre based.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, like, at least that way I knew whatever was in it was all Batman or all Spider-Man or whatever else. I did not get. I don't know. I get weary about mystery boxes because they always try to get you with like they advertise the PlayStation 5 and like there could be a PlayStation 5 in there.
Oh, they say it's worth $250 on Amazon. I'm like, listen, buddy, this is my first day on Earth. I know you're here to make money, so there's no way that whatever's in here is worth $250 and you're having me spend $50.
Right. Like
that's crazy.
Yeah, whatever markup price you're looking at, it's definitely not. Yeah.
There was definitely a lot more cash only places I thought.
Yeah.
Like in the merch store,
where
like they seem to be like, oh yeah, sorry, no credit cards, and I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, I would have been screwed. I had actually.
I had some cash, but I didn't have like the way that these things were priced.
Yeah.
There was this horror exhibit or store, really, but with a lot of horror stuff, and obviously that's my interest space, and everything was like $250.
Oh.
And I was so tempted. I was like, I know there's an ATM out in the lobby.
There were, yeah, I did get tempted on a couple of things. I was like, that would look pretty cool. I'm like, but I don't know what I would do or where I would put it. And I was like, no, I don't need to. I had to get my car fixed this week. So I was like a little extra gun shy on spending money.
Yeah, and I feel like I have so many tchotchkes in my like room and stuff and around here that it's like, where am I gonna put this horror stuff? Because I can't put it out here because scare Sophie, but there's like Michael Myers masks and like Freddy Krueger gloves, like that are posed. Scream masks, way cool stuff.
There was one lady who had puppets.
I remember the puppet lady.
Nothing like crazy, like definitely no Muppet, but definitely like
they had their own style.
Though. Yes,
it wasn't like a lazy puppet. I saw a couple lazy puppets.
There was definitely some lazy puppets. But I talked to her, and so just hand up the puppet, and they had the arm stick.
Yeah. And
I was playing the guitar on one of them on the little gun, but I got her card, and she said she could totally make a gnome puppet. And she said she could, like, because Liam and I have been talking about it for a while. I'm like, we want fucking puppets.
Would it have like the mouth, like with Elmo, or just like a
yes, and then like yes. Oh my gosh, she said she could keep it in the pocket and then have like an extra stick, so like Whimsy would pop out of the pocket and then still talk. Oh my god, it looks so cool. So I got her number and her contact info. So I might try to reach out to her and be like,
I did grab like a bunch of cards for stuff because I was like, you know what, if I can't spend money on it now, then I can find them Etsy or whatever and just
I did get a couple of cards for some artists because I was looking around and I was looking for like artists that had like a similar style that I would like for the webcomic.
Right.
So Sarah does the web Little Whims right now, but I'm also looking to, if I could pick up another one and kind of do another series with some gnomes. So I did pick up a couple of different artists. One lady, we're doing some commissions, but she had like a huge list of them, and I'm like, oh, I'm not coming back tomorrow. So I told him, like, I'll just email you and just let you just do, and like $10, just kind of get a general idea and sketch of it.
And they're usually there for business, so they'll, they don't need you to come back tomorrow. They want your money either way. Right. So,
but yeah, so I was looking for, I'm like, that'd be so cool to get like a rando artist and like get some more artwork out there because Whimsy's blowing up, man. We're doing all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh yeah,
we got
new subscribers.
We got some new subscribers. We got 2 new podcasts I'm working on. Like that's, oh my gosh. Like I told my mom, I'm like, I got 2 new ideas. And she's like, so you're going to do 5 podcasts? I'm like, yeah, 3 podcasts and 2 live streams. I'm like, I could do it. I'm like, she's like, and then everybody's just like, just combine them. I'm like, no, because I'm like, I don't know. Because yes, part of me wants like the network, like the Whimsy network.
Right.
But then like the theme of the other two don't quite mesh.
Fit with it.
Yeah, it's not as whimsy. It's a little bit more like family tree idea.
Yeah.
But I'm still working on it. I'll figure it out. But yeah, so it was kind of cool to kind of reach out to some of those artists and see, logos, or one guy actually does comic strips, like small comic strips. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like,
So basically exactly what you need.
yeah. I'm like, and I'm like, I just put some, I just need any 3-panel story of some gnomes. Like, I don't even really care. So yeah, hopefully we see some more artwork coming out. I know Sarah's dealing with life, so she'll be back eventually. But until then, like, I just like the idea of like giving an artist like an outlet to kind of like draw something else and then
Right.
kind of be part of this whimsy thing. So it'll be interesting. I like it. Let's see what else is going on. What costume scared Sophie?
Oh, the Freddy Fazbear costume. She was very scared about it. And then she also looked at us like, Mother, why have you betrayed me? Because we kept running into Freddy.
Right.
And she was just like, I don't want to go near that bear. I'm like, bro, I didn't even see him until he was right. Maybe he's haunted. I don't know.
And did she like Batman?
No, she didn't like Batman. Batman just walked up to us and then he had these huge wings. And he just showed them to Sophie, like apropos of nothing. Yeah. And she was not having it. Probably because she's just very shy also, too.
Right. Well, and I think part of it too was she knew, like, she knows who Batman is, but his mask and the mouth, I think, is what freaks it out. Because I was like, because like the mask wasn't as like form-fitting like you would normally expect Batman to have.
Right. And it's so much bigger in life.
Yeah.
Because I was saying those wings, Kelly, how high would you say they were? They were like a couple feet above his head, and the dude wasn't short. So like they were taking up so much space, and they folded down when he put his arms down. So I guess like it was just very bigger than life, and she's just not used to seeing things that.
He kept waving at her. I'm like, read the room, dude. I'm like, I don't think she's happy with you. He's just like, bye. He's like, I'm like, no, dude, you're not gonna win her over.
Yeah, at least he had a good time. She loved some girls' costumes, a lot of girls' costumes, to be fair, because there was a lot of Daisy, Princess Peach.
Yeah, ones that she recognizes.
There was a girl who was dressed up as Toad.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I don't know, she likes those kind of costumes, and even ones that she doesn't recognize. Mm-hmm. Oh, that girl, it looks like a little fox. Wow. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Speaking of the little fox, Liam should have came because there were so many furries there.
There were so many, and we were gonna get decked out, and we didn't.
Like, we were gonna buy furry suits, like a tail and some
tail, little ear action.
Oh man, Liam would disown us.
Liam's a real furry, ladies and gentlemen. He loves it.
He doesn't want you guys to know. He tries to play it off like he doesn't like them, but he likes the furries.
He doth protest too much. But there was like, there's a lot of furry action. But then there's like a lot of costumes that may seem like furry costumes, but they're really just characters.
Right.
XY game, XY anime, etc., etc., etc. But no, everybody looked so cute in their costumes.
It was fun.
They were all really, really good.
Because when you cosplay, it's like you go hard. Like some of this, like the money you put into it, and then the time and energy to make sure that like you try to get as like accurate as you can to.
And it's crazy that like you obviously don't know this because you've only been to today, or you don't really know these people. But a lot of people plan day 1, day 2 outfits, so they have a whole nother full cosplay that looks amazing and professional for the next day.
Right?
Can't show up wearing the same clothes twice.
So it was weird though, and I don't know if it is weird or not. Like, this random guys would just stop stop you and be like, hey, can I get a picture of you? And I was like, in any other situation, it's weird, but like
With cosplay, it's not weird.
right. And it's like, I have no idea who you are. That's a cool character. You look really cool with it. Let me take a picture of it. And I'm like, oh, that's super cool. And I totally thought, I'm like, I should have done that and been like, here's my podcast. You're going to be on the podcast. Check out the website. And then start branding everywhere, because like all these people are going to be like hanging out with all their other nerd friends and be like, I'm on a website.
Yeah, if you have a shtick too at a con, then people will be like, they'll remember you.
Yeah.
Like if you're out there handing out tiny gnomes to everybody and being like, find out the secret of the gnome, and the secret is you take its hat off and it says chasing the whimsy under it,
Right?
then people are like, that was so weird, that gnome guy. Yeah, he
Right.
kept handing out gnomes to everybody.
Yeah. It's like next year, hundreds of gnomes.
Just walk up to a little side quest for you, and you just hand him a gnome and then just dip. Don't say anything else.
Leaving pens everywhere.
Yeah.
People are like, what? So overall, I enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun. I would have liked to see some more panels. There were some more horror panels. There's a lot more horror panels this time than there was the last time I had gone to this con. And that really excited me, because as somebody who writes horror, to see like all these horror writing panels was cool.
Yeah.
And there were fun ones too that were just like funny questions and stuff that they thought people would like to say. And
yeah, they had some like a couple of like quiz like type panels. And then like comparing like Star Wars and Star Trek.
Stuff that get people talking.
Yeah.
Because there's some panels where it, I don't know, gets a little dead.
Yeah.
Because nobody's willing to ask questions, or they don't have any questions.
Right. Like mass hysteria, for example. Maybe there was a topic about
I couldn't even get to the question answer. It was just okay. Maybe it was a slow start, and maybe it would have gotten better. Maybe it would have gotten better.
Right. You didn't give, if you gave them 11 minutes instead of 10 minutes.
To be fair, I also was like standing in that panel because I was late, so I went the wrong way. Oh yeah, there was like arcades and stuff. You guys missed it. Like down where I thought that my panel was, there was like a bunch of like claw machines, and it was like right next to the ballroom where there's like just open up with like tabletop games.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I was reading through the thing. They were going to do like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
They and then there's a couple of different other games that I'm assuming like some of the artists created.
Yeah.
And so they had all those trading card games. And I was like, oh, that would have been fucking cool.
I ran into that when I was looking for my panel.
I had a big poker tournament yesterday for Kids Need to Read, or what was the charity? Kids.
You didn't even read it.
No, I did. It's Kids Reading. Hold on, it's right here on the front page. Kids. Talk amongst yourselves, guys.
I'm reading the comic upside down right now.
Kids Need to Read. I was right. Oh shit, I was right.
Sound confident there, Ben.
I know. I was like, I enjoyed it. It was
different than
could we have seen more? Sure. But it was, I think, everything I needed for
one day.
For one day, and for like to compare and contrast the different sizes of my town type cons.
Right. And I don't know, I feel like you didn't get to see like the full like scope of everything that was happening in the North building.
No, but we will. We're gonna go to another con in next month. Do you remember?
Oh god.
This is all we're gonna do now. Which con? Do you remember what it was?
Toy Con. Toy something.
Toy Con. I have no idea where it is. But it's gonna be in U-Town.
Oh, it's in Me-Town? Wow.
Yeah. That's so funny. Something like that. She likes toys.
Oh no, we can't. We'll be broke, but
right? Oh, that would be so much fun.
She's gonna bring her favorite toy and be like, "Yo,
Well, they had after parties, after dark parties.
correct? Yeah."
What does an after dark puppet show look like? That's what I'm talking about,
It's a saucy puppet show.
right? Masquerade costume parties.
Where there were people like when we were leaving at 6, there were people who were just coming in.
Yeah, they're
So-
gonna hit the
They're prob-
nightlife.
They probably like went back to their hotel or house and then came back for the night portion.
The drag extravaganza, the drag show. I'd go to one of those.
Yeah, why not?
Those are fun.
Drag shows are fun and harmless.
And a magic show.
A magic show.
They did a cosplay roast. It was Wolverine getting roasted by Deadpool. I read. I don't know how I would feel about them not being Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it'd be like somebody. That's the disconnect you do get with a lot of the costumes because somebody will have like the coolest costume ever, and then they're like, "Hey guys, look out!" And you're like, "Oh, yo, hi."
JJ was there. Christina and her kids were there. We didn't see
We
anybody.
didn't see anyone. My coworkers were there, and I didn't see any of them.
I walk away for a second and I can't find you guys for a fucking half hour.
Yeah, that during the whole merch section, it was like it's like Scooby Doo where they're running in and out of the doors and they come out of the different doors. That's what it felt like.
Right?
Because every time I'd be like, "Wait, where's my family?" I felt like a lost child sometimes because I would like turn around from the merch and be like, "Hey, look at this guy, guys. Where is everybody?" Then people, "Oh, do you need help?" I'm like, "No, maybe. I don't know.
I'm just gonna look up these instead.
I can't find my parents, guys."
But I enjoyed it. I liked it. I will definitely go back again
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
next year. Toy Con, and then I'm gonna find all the cons because there was one last month that we missed. It was like retro video game con or something.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna start hitting all the cons. I wore my Whimsy shirt. Start giving out some more shit.
Get out pens.
Yeah.
Get out stickers.
I gave out a couple stickers, left a few pens on a couple of tables. Just nonchalantly.
Oh, chasing the whimsy, huh?
Right? Look us up.
CTW. Or it's chasingthewhimsy.com on the pen.
Yeah. I like it.
I have mine in my room, so I was like,
My mom's so funny. You're not using all those pens, are you? Sorry, Mom.
"Sorry, Mom."
Oh,
He's just throwing fistfuls of them in the air at the con, making it rain.
You can have a pen. You can have a pen. It was fun. I'm glad we went. If it wasn't fucking late, I'd call JJ and see what he thought.
Yeah, we can catch up with him next time he's on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh, he wanted to live stream this week. He's gonna definitely be on a live stream soon this summer because he's just like, I want to live stream, I want to podcast more. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
He's got good ideas. I like when JJ is on the podcast.
He's got a bunch of summer stuff going on. So he's got like 3 different camps and all kinds of stuff going on. So
Still like some kind of martial arts too, right?
yeah,
Taekwondo.
So yeah, we'll have him on. We'll figure out, see how everybody
Dude,
did.
he's 9-year-olds too busy for us, dude. We're like, come on the podcast. Bro.
I got a pen. You can pen me in. Oh, I love it. Is there any cons that you would like to see? If there was a certain like theme con that I can look for?
Obviously, can't wait to go to TuesCon again.
Yes.
Literally my favorite con now.
I love it. I did email them. I'm going to see if they'll let me sit on the floor for a couple hours each day. Like they're official.
They seemed down when we were there last time.
Yeah.
Like they didn't seem to have any restrictions on what we could do.
Right.
So next time we're just gonna have like a little mic up and just talk to people.
Because I did email them and it was like, we'll be like the official like TuesCon.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I can live stream. Like, I'm thinking 2 days. Like, I'd be willing to commit like 2-hour live streams,
Yeah.
and then like for the podcast, I'd want to talk to the vendors, and like meet with everybody like right when they're setting up and stuff. And like, hey, you want to come over? And just hit all the vendors, and then have a whole section. I can even do a panel.
They can plug their stuff, and then panel.
You want to do a panel with me?
What's your panel gonna be on though?
I don't know. We haven't told November to figure it out.
We do.
That'd be cool.
That'd be so cerebral.
I've never I haven't been to many panels or any at all, and then do like, I'm gonna be running a panel.
Let's run a panel. We're gonna be the next mass hysteria.
Oh, I love it, man. Dude.
Hey, standing room only.
Year 1, a lot of stuff has happened, but year 2,
even more.
It's gonna get crazy. We're gonna hit all the cons. Toy Con, TuesCon,
OurTown Con,
yeah,
Part 2.
I'm down. Where's that like a trading card like con?
What we should do is have one of those like stop-start recorders.
Yes.
Instead of like a regular recorder, just be like, if there's anything you could say to the Chasing the Whimsy audience, what would you say? And without context, just be like,
you're like, I have no idea what it is. Oh, I did have my my pockets microphone or recorder.
Yeah, then there'll be 1,000. I don't know who that is.
Right.
I don't know what that is, but somebody might say something interesting or out of pocket, and it'll be fun.
I like it. All right. Well, I think that is our
breakdown of OurTown Con.
That's gonna be the name of it. Our City Con 2024.
Our City Con 2024.
I like it.
Was great.
Awesome. You want to hit the
Whimsy.